Hi there. Welcome to She Spice. 50 Cent has apparently favored Katt Williams in uncovering jokester Kevin Hart for supposedly being Diddy's right hand. 50 Cent clarified which side he's on with this unexpected support of Hart. Fifth posted a video of Kevin Hart and Sharp Thompson on the Peacock show back that year, where he had all the earmarks of being deriding the entertainer from two alternate points of view. I think doll that I like Puff with a huge two unique things following this. He composed a subtitle saying, "Goodness, Kevin Hart is perhaps of the coolest individual on the planet. He gives pleasure into our lives. He makes us snicker. I'm practically good. My new uplifting tones will be infectious." Anybody could feel the incongruity there, and certain individuals even case that Fifth was utilizing a similar tone he regularly utilizes while going after Diddy. Now many individuals felt that 50 Cent was tossing G pokes at Hart in work to exhibit where he remains with the late charges made about Hart by Katt Williams for setting in a new meeting on Club Shay. The unbelievable entertainer Katt Williams caused disruptions by communicating his real perspectives on individual jokes. Kevin Hart Williams, known for his proud style and dreadful discourse, dove into the elements of Hollywood and the satire business. His assertions focused on Hart's quick ascent to fame and scrutinized the credibility of the comedic scene. Feline Williams started by featuring the surprising direction of Kevin Hart's vocation in Hollywood by first scrutinizing the uncommon speed with which Hart made progress in 15 years in Hollywood. Nobody in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show where there was a line for him to truly get thunderous applause at any satire club. Williams continued and recommended that Hart's quick rise was uncommon and suggested the conversation starter of whether Hart had genuinely put in his time in the cutthroat universe of stand-up parody. The entertainer stressed the meaning of the excursion and addressed whether Hart's apparently momentary achievement was characteristic of an alternate story. He had already made his arrangements when he arrived. Have we known about a comic that came to LA and in his most memorable year in LA? He had his own sitcom on network TV and his own film called Soul Plan that he was driving in the meeting? Katt Williams acquainted the term plant with portraying somebody who apparently shows up all of a sudden and achieves accomplishment without the conventional battles that jokesters frequently face and afterward guarantees they are independent. Williams. And then I noticed the way that Kevin Hart's narrative with Chris Rock uncovered his satire roots on the East Coast. He highlighted an apparent inconsistency in Hart's story, taking note of the fact that he recently did his narrative with Chris Rock, where he shows you that his entire childhood interest in satire was on the East Coast. So how all the while was he here in Los Angeles doing likewise? It didn't occur. Williams examined the irregularities in Hart's story, testing the broadly acknowledged an account of a mind-blowing phenomenon. Kevin Hart answered Feline's claims in a post on X, expressing that he got to get that displeasure up on a mission to win. It's really miserable. Meanwhile, if it's not too much trouble, partake in my film trailer for my next film, which will be dropping on Netflix in 8 days. There's a second in the trailer where Gumbathara says they truly love you. I currently know she's discussing Feline in a 2013 meeting with Darktree Television while examining his job at Frightening Film. 5 Felines dove into a few fascinating points, including a hypothesis about dark entertainers being compelled to wear dresses on screen to advance to a higher degree of popularity. It's significant that this interview came out not long after Kevin Hart showed up on SNL drama wearing a dress for the setting. Everything began when Dave Chappelle, one more worshipped entertainer, showed up on Oprah's show in 2006, where he discussed his refusal to acknowledge a $50 million arrangement from Good Times TV. He felt that such arrangements accompanied surprises, and he was reluctant to be controlled or embarrassed for a check. Chappelle's disclosures didn't end there. He described being approached to wear a dress for a film scene, an encounter that left him profoundly awkward as, per his numerous humorists, had confronted comparable circumstances unfolding on screen, and it frequently harmonized with a basic point in their professions. This was also a gesture to the predominant business conviction that dark performers expected to pass this particular boundary to propel. Quick forward to 2012, when Kevin Hart got some information about Dave Chappelle's cases during a public broadcast, while he didn't expressly say no to truly wearing a dress. Hart underlined the significance of individual limits. He expressed that crossing these limits was non-debatable for him. You must have limits. You must have limits that you refuse to cross. He even referred to instances of peculiar solicitations he had gotten. For example, spilling a ball on a television show, which he respectfully declined, and focused on the significance of safeguarding his image and the expected dangers of giving and taking it anyway. A year after Hart showed up in a SNL production where he unfolded a dress, a move that garnered sharp analysis from fans, some blamed him for being a sellout, contending that he had gone against his previous position. The drama depicted him as a 9-year-old youngster, Pope, a picture that many accepted didn't line up with Kevin Hart. They had come to realize the new Pope is 9-year-old Oscar Kevin. Wallace "Feline" Williams immediately jumped all over this chance to reignite the fight. He proposed that Kevin Hart's activities on SNL were just essential for a bigger example, implying that Hart was energetically playing by the business's principles to get notoriety and fortune. Williams opined that Hart's prosperity permitted him to get away from analysis for wearing a dress, as a long queue of comics had previously done as such before him. "I'm expressing it by the day's end. Kevin doesn't need to stress over the things individuals will say regarding him wearing a dress due to the long queue of dress-wearing individuals before him." He highlighted motion pictures like Large Mom's Home and the Meta establishment as instances of past cases where jokesters had unfolded dresses. Williams didn't go all out in that frame of mind. Rather, he unpretentiously scrutinized the decisions made by comics who went for the gold. He implied that a few performers, including himself and Dave Chappelle, were ready to contradict some common norms and thus may very well never achieve a similar degree of popularity as Hart. The fight took a warmed turn when Kevin Hart got tired of Williams' suggestions, released his dissatisfaction during an appearance on the Morning Meal Club public broadcast. Hart hit back hard, blaming Feline Williams for evading liability regarding his activities, especially his issues with the law and substance stomach muscle. He contended that Williams had wasted open doors and situated himself as a gamble to studios, which ultimately prompted a decrease in his profession. Hart wasn't beating around the bush. He laid the blame solidly on Williams' decisions. Hart stressed that he had worked persistently to make progress and hadn't undermined his standards. He highlighted Williams' own issues, suggesting that Williams was attempting to redirect fault by going after him as per Hart's satire, which was a serious business, and the individuals who succeeded did so through difficult work and commitment, not by capitulating to industry pressures. Most likely, Kevin's vocation direction took a rewarding turn after he spruced up as a lady before the SNL production. Kevin Hart's total assets were assessed at a praiseworthy $9 million anyway. After 2013, his vocation ended up being a monetary game-changer. The seats for his stand-up shows started selling out quickly, and significant creation houses recruited him for different undertakings. The monetary bonus was reflected in Kevin's accounted for total assets, which supposedly took off to a noteworthy $78.5 million by 2016. Kevin Hart's monetary achievement was additionally set when Forbes named him the most generously compensated comic of the year, with profit coming to roughly $87.5 million. Well, not just this feline has stated that Kevin Hart needed to become as would be natural for him. Diddy's courtesan to achieve the degrees of popularity and abundance he at present partakes in this eyebrow-raising claim, adds a layer of interest to the continuous conversation encompassing the length a few people will go to in quest for progress in Hollywood. It appears as though Diddy is not generally keen on staying quiet about his sexuality during his operation. Elle remarked on Kevin Hart's attractive features during a new live meeting that the two stars went to in 2010. Diddy and his filthy cash team held a delivery party for Last Train to Paris. Kevin facilitated a live stream get-together, and things got a bit extraordinary among him and Diddy during the party. There was a particular second when Diddy called Kevin into his restroom, which left viewers inquisitive and shocked anyway. Diddy immediately added a no-homo disclaimer once the camera began rolling. "Come in here, man. Come in here, man. Not going. I'm not hello, yo. Listen, come here. No homo." No, Diddy's utilization of the expression no homo brought up issues, as per watchers. It wasn't utilized in the average setting of the brother code given his set of experiences of participating in gay. The tone of his conveyance shows up dubious. It nearly appears as though he needed to convey something, but he may have felt reluctant or unfit to do so in another video cut. Diddy takes things further by mentioning Kevin and talking about him as though he were a child. "And my self-evident truth, Kevin, come here, Kevin. I believe that you should discuss me as a child at a similar party." Diddy kissed Ronnie James without the young fellow's consent, prompting an irate reaction from Kevin Hart. It's possible that Kevin's response could be connected to sensations of envy towards Diddy, but understandings might differ. Kevin likewise took it further by genuinely contacting Diddy and recommending he hit the recenter to improve his build. Are these cooperations between the two heightening the S pressure? Subscribe She Spice for more videos.